Welcome back, everybody, to Fly the Coop. Thank you so much for being with us today. I have the privilege to have Matt Arminio and Kyle O'Neil in the house with me today. They are the founders and owners of Gulfside 12 down in Florida. The redevelopment in Fort Myers is real, and these two gentlemen are spearheading some phenomenal work. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being with me today. What are your thoughts, Matt, as you've had this history of really coming from a dynamic redevelopment and restoration component to your life since 2012? How do you feel about what's going on in Florida right now? And tell me what you feel are I think there's some amazing shares about what you're doing at Gulfside 12 as it relates to the cost to live there and how economical your project is. What are your thoughts on that? I would love for you to share with everybody what's like how valuable your real estate is, because it's so valuable.
Yeah, I mean the nexus for the investment when we looked at it, right? Because if you look at Fort Myers Beach, right, there was nothing like this product. There was
Oh,
no there, you had single family homes that were being built on the beach, that were sort of this 3-story, 5,500 square foot product.
mm-hmm,
Um, but you didn't have anything that was like a luxury boutique condo development.
mm-hmm,
And the beauty of the project from our standpoint, or one of the reasons that we got really excited about it was a chance to transform that island. As
mm-hmm,
Kyle said, you looked up and down the Gulf, right? And
mm-hmm.
you looked at Captiva and Sanibel and Naples and Bonita and Marco, and you're going, it's the same body of water. It's the
Yep.
same sand. It's the same beautiful sunsets.
Mm-hmm.
And I can offer it to people at a third or half the price, right?
Right there.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so
That's the
and
nugget.
so it was this set, you could hit this segment of the market that was sitting there going like, man, I would love to live Gulf front in Florida, and I'm willing to give up, the Naples zip code or the Marco Island zip code, because I don't want to spend $12 million. I don't want to spend $15 million. I want
Yeah.
to spend four. I want to spend five. Like my budget might not be what I want, but I really want to be on the water.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, even pre-hurricane, we looked at Fort Myers Beach as an opportunity to sort of rebrand itself as a little bit more luxurious,
Mm-hmm.
um, and thought we were offering just unbelievable value,
I
during the whole
agree.
process.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with that. What I find fascinating about Fort Myers is as a beach, it's the most collaborative and family friendly section of beach land in Florida, in the fact that like Kevin, my sales director, he lived down there for a while with his wife. It's the only beach they could go to, or they could go walk their dog, as an
Yep.
example, right?
Yeah.
There's layers to this whole vibe of what's going on down there that I think a lot of people don't really realize. And
Mhm.
for those that are looking at this wealth factor, that's looking at realigning their money, if you will, and wanting this kind of experience, there's a lot of value as an investment
Mhm.
opportunity to delve into something like this, because it's a great holding tank in my mind when you look at all of the options out there to place your wealth, right? So I know that's another layered, multifaceted drop. But Matt, in your mind, as you're seeing the redevelopment, what are the shares you want to contribute as to the why on spending their money right there in versus other places in the country?
I mean, the interesting thing about Fort Myers Beach, right? Like what we were doing at Gulfside 12, we believe was coming, right? Like the market had essentially appreciated to the point where everybody that had been on Fort Myers Beach for the past 30, 40, 50 years, right, was able to realize so much value out of what they had relative to their cost basis that it was
Right.
almost a no-brainer to either sell it or redevelop it. So
Mm-hmm.
we had hit that point sort of in the development curve where the island was ready to be redeveloped.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the hurricane, obviously was devastating for tons of families on the island. And I don't want to
Diminish.
understate. I
Yeah.
don't want to understate how much damage that how much damage and pain that hurricane caused.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a few years before the island builds back.
Mm-hmm.
But the interesting thing from an investment standpoint, just honing in on your specific question here, is you know where can you go right now, waterfront, right, and
Mm-hmm.
have almost a completely blank canvas.
I know.
I mean, the beauty of what is going to be redeveloped on Fort Myers Beach is that they're going to be able to develop a vision for Fort Myers Beach
Mm-hmm.
that holds with what it used to be, this family friendly, public access beach environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
That also has uber luxury elements, affordable elements. It's going to run the gamut from top to bottom. It's going to have world class amenities, world class resorts, world class single family homes. There's going to be something for everybody there.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to redevelop itself as pretty much a completely walkable community. So, you're just, it's going to be 6.5 miles of the most pristine, newly developed real estate in the country.
I
And
agree.
I, and, I think those, the people that are bold enough might be the word, or
Yeah.
smart enough to see the vision in the future are going to take advantage of it. I mean, I've told every single one of our under contract buyers on Gulfside 12, I fully expect their property values to double in 5 years.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, whether the recipients of real estate owners out there want to hear it or not, we do have a supply demand issue in this country, in every community, and especially during a time when we circle back to the synergy of climates like this, moving into markets like that. In the demand world, it's the very highest I've ever seen. And we likely won't see it like this again. Like over the next 10 years, I think you're going to see this extraordinary increase in this real estate. And I think the two of you and your partner have done a beautiful job figuring out how to bring an audience in that makes it affordable. The per square foot is something I want to dip into next. Matt and Kyle, give people a flavor for what's really happening in that market right now as it relates to living on the ocean and what the cost to do business really is on average and where you're hovering versus the competition per square foot.
Yes. So on a per square foot basis, let's just say you want to go, if you want to be Gulf front in Naples, right? I mean, you're spending easily north of 3,000 a foot to get there. And in a lot of cases, you're spending that to get the property, and then you're going to renovate it and do your own work.
Mm-hmm.
Marco's a little bit below that. But you're still above 2,000 a foot.
Mm-hmm.
As you start to migrate north, right, and you get into Bonita and places like that, you're in the 2,000 square foot range, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all the way down at 1,200 a foot. So we are new construction, 4,700 square feet of luxury right on the Gulf.
Mm-hmm.
We have a world class pool amenity, finished rooftops for our buyers.
Mm-hmm.
270 linear feet of private Gulf frontage on the south end of the island, and we're at $1,200 a square foot.
Brilliant. Like that is just
Now,
so
now
exciting.
we're quickly closing that gap.
Mhm.
But like I said, those that move quickly
Yeah,
will get a great deal.
agree.
And my argument is there's no reason for that gap to exist.
Right.
I mean, anyone who knows Bonita
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gulfront, there are no amenities. The Gulfront in house, followed by house, followed by house, followed by house, followed by house,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's true.
You know, Naples, Naples, you have to come off the water to get to most of the amenities, right? You have to go
Correct.
inland to get to most of the amenities.
That's right.
You know, when Fort Myers Beach is redeveloped, you're going to be on the Gulf. Your
Mm-hmm.
restaurants are going to be on the Gulf. Your bars are going to be on the Gulf. Like everything's going to be on the Gulf, and it's all going
Mm-hmm.
to be walkable to you. Like it is such a unique
Crazy.
opportunity that exists, and it exists at 50% of what it costs you to live in Naples. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's it's almost insane.
It is insane. I agree. That's why I'm so psyched to work with the two of you and share the story. Because I think a lot of the marketplace in the world of real estate, um, I don't want to call it a fail, but really deep diving, right, into the practicality of what this is and what the cost to do business is and how valuable it is and what an extraordinary opportunity it is. By far, in the 30 plus years of me dipping in and out of this entire region and area, I know it so well, as Kevin does. It's such a beautiful part of the world. And to be able to get this respite experience and be able to have a safe place to put a pool of money, I can't think of a better project anywhere in the country right now, for real. It's awesome. Awesome. And you're absolutely right, Matt. You're in a short window here where those numbers are going to shift. It's inevitable because we all know that the supply, material, labor issues are real, and they're only going to increase as we're really trying to maintain a consistent level of finish. Can't control that. Those base costs cannot be something any of us builders, realtor, we can't control those numbers. So how are Matt and Kyle doing that, everybody? When they entered into the project, they're able to control it. So what I always say to my clients is, as the market continues to evolve, the cost to do business to buy the land and the cost to do business to do the project continue to increase, and there's nothing anyone can do about that. So the cost to play goes up, period. That's how it works. And I don't see that changing anytime soon at all.
So we're actually actively looking for more projects on Fort Myers Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that we have in the planning stages, we're already performing our construction costs at about a 25% increase to what we're spending on Gulfside.
Mm-hmm.
So to echo your sentiment, like construction prices are going up.
Yep.
That means developer costs are going up, and
Mm-hmm.
that means purchase prices are going up.
Correct.
So it's coming. To echo your sentiment, there are a lot of people with a lot of money, right now. Like as a country, we have built a tremendous amount of wealth over the past decade,
Yep.
both in real estate and not in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you wait, right, the longer you wait based on the current trajectory that we're going through right now,
Mm-hmm.
ultimately the more you're just going to pay.
Yeah.
I think it's a mistake when I hear people say, well, this pricing can't last. It's not going to last. It's going to recede. I'm going to wait for the pricing to
I
come down.
know.
And that's
No, it's not going to happen.
yeah. Well, I mean, to just look at the economics of it, right? Your supply demand is completely out of whack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nationally over the last decade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Traditionally, the U.S. housing market adds 10 million homes every decade.
Mm-hmm.
Over
That's
the past
not
decade following the crash, we built like 2.3. So we're 8 million houses behind schedule,
correct.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you look at the fact that the largest segment of our population, right, which is the millennial population, they're entering the home market right now.
Yeah.
So you have the largest segment of first-time home buyers entering the market right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're undersupplied. Now we have giant demand.
Right.
Now, the third aspect of that is you've got all the baby boomers who have decided, because they have so much wealth, they're staying in all the houses that they bought.
Yep.
Traditionally they would be selling out of that inventory. And right now they're not, they're adding more inventory.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not getting the existing inventory coming to market either.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Unless
So
they're working with
got
me.
huge pent up. But this is what I'm saying. You've got huge pent up. You've got, you've
Mm-hmm.
got, you've got no supply,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Like,
Yeah.
and national home builders have solved that equation, right? They're no longer holding the lots. They're buying the lots as they need them and developing the product as they need it.
Right.
So the days of like them oversupplying the market,
Mm-hmm.
are more or less gone.
Yeah. Agree.
They figured out how to land bank and use the tax advantages to keep that stuff off their balance sheets, and they're just going to deliver homes as they need them.
Damn
right.
right. You're right.
And we've
Mm-hmm.
and we're, and if you look at it from a wealth perspective, right, and you look at interest rates, right, we've weathered most of the Fed's interest rate hikes.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing's changed in the pricing market.
Yeah.
So you're going to enter a phase over the next 3 to 5 years, right, where you're chasing a whole bunch of demand. Interest rates are going to go back down.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And everybody with wealth is going to continue to have wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So where is the alarm going off in your head that makes you think that 3 to 5 years from now pricing is going to drop 20%? It's going the other direction.
It's fabricated. Like it's a speak. Honestly, I personally feel like the news and social, that's one of a love-hate thing, right? It's a great thing. Like I always say, one to many. That's why we're doing this, right? One to many, sharing a story, getting it out to as many people as possible. It's a numbers game. This is all a numbers game.
Yeah.
When we're putting people with homes, people with lifestyle, people with a vision of sharing with people, what is it they're looking for? Because they don't even know what they're looking for. So you're answering the question for them. I call it future casting and front loading a solution, right? So what's happening with social media and the news is they're putting out a speak right now that speaks exactly to that, Matt, and it's fully false. It's just not a real statement. It's not real. They think something's going to happen that's just not going to happen because they're not I always say, you're not in the trenches doing this. You don't really see what's going on. You just nailed it on the head just now, Matt. What you just articulated is exactly what's happening and what will happen. And that's it. Like there is no massaging that. There are no solutions to it. It's a reality. So anyway, I think that there's some real opportunity here for people with this Gulfside 12 project. And I'm super excited to partner with you on it. And I can't wait to get the message out. So what we're doing, I'm just going to say it. So we could put together really cool, you have all this beautiful video work. So we just kind of rearranged it and we're putting it in front of our 15,000 people in our database. And in that, I call it the 1%ers, like 1% of the market who's going to pull out a $3 to $5 million product, or maybe a compilation, of people that are buying into it together and sharing it. I'm seeing that happen, by the way, as well, gentlemen. I think that's a real thing, where they maybe share the space. It's not like a co-op, but it is, right? Their own little co-op, if you will. I just think that you've got something that's super, super special. And I'm really so excited to get down there and actually tour it with you, which we're planning to do in August, Kevin and I, so we can meet you in person. So do you have anything else to share? Because we're going to be doing this interview again in a couple months before we close it out, because this is the nugget I was looking for from you. Anything else?
I think Matt hit it on the nose with the interest rates. I mean, really, there's still a lot of buyers looking now, and you think once they start to go down a little bit around the time Gulfside's being completed, everyone will be coming back into the market. And I think there is a large aspect of, you hear social media, the news, everyone's saying, oh, the interest rates are so high, maybe sit on the sidelines, but there's a lot of companies like BlackRock and a couple others that are, spending $30 billion to buy homes in the single family market right now. So, there's a lot of people who are buying, and now is the time, whereas once rates start to fall, you can always refinance and, find a better option. So, No, we really are. We're excited about Gulfside and excited about Fort Myers Beach, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of
Beauty, a lot of beauty there.
yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know, really, really brilliant. Okay, Matt. And before we close out, do you have anything else to contribute?
I mean, I think if we're hanging around in August, I'm not expecting too many units left.
I know. That's how I feel too.
No,
Well,
I mean that's my shameless sales pitch on what we're
mhm.
building because I believe in it so much. I would say on the general demand, I mean we didn't even touch on what Kyle mentioned, which is that
Mhm.
there's billions of dollars just gobbling up inventory, for rent,
I know.
which I think is a huge equation. And the other thing we didn't touch on is how many people that are in their homes now are sitting on a 3% 30-year mortgage,
I know.
right? And
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
and that's there's a real inventory problem there, right? Because that whole move up and move on trade, right? That doesn't exist right now. So again, if you think that there's going to be some watershed moment on the real estate side that's going to allow you to take advantage of some drop in pricing, I just don't see it. I just don't see. If you were to ask me what I think your window is, I think your window is Q3, Q4 of this year.
Oh, I
I
agree
think that
100%, 100%. So we are 1,000 feet deep into already working with Gulfside on their current project. We opened our office and we're doing Naples, Fort Myers. The whole region down there is rich with opportunity, especially from a Twin Cities climate, like from this perspective from Minnesota. We're super honed into our market and the partnership with the Florida market. Gulfside 12 is fully in the works. Like you're ready to go. We can get you all closed and in a space this winter on that project. I suppose the livability piece, we should close it out with this. When can people start using their space? When are you planning to finish the project in its entirety?
So the entirety of the project is scheduled for summer 2024 delivery. So we're
Yep.
sold out phase one, and we're
Yep.
delivering it's at the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
But there are 8 units left in phase two. The 8 units scheduled for delivery of summer of 2024. So
Mm-hmm.
by the time season rolls around in 2024, you'll be in ready. All the amenities will be done, and we'll have the project completely.
So the takeaway here, everybody, is there are more projects coming down the pipeline with Gulfside 12, but they will be more expensive than this project, only for just the cost to get into the project. So there's an opportunity right now to secure your spot. And there's some beautiful opportunity to be living a life down there as early as winter, as late as next summer. For the following season. So super psyched about it, gentlemen. Very excited to show the visuals on this. And we will be visiting with you again here in not, probably in the next month, actually, on progress reports. And we will be doing some video coverage on all that's happening in Fort Myers as a collaborative in the month of August. So super excited for the opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching today, everybody. We will be back at you next time on Fly the Coop.